You're scrolling, drifting through the endless static of the algorithm, waiting for the signal to cut through the noise. Consider, if you will, that you just found the frequency. You've just stepped off the timeline of the everyday, into the space where the forgotten history and the hidden truths finally touch down. There's the story you know, and then there's the airspace we're about to enter. Check your coordinates, because you're heading towards the landing point. Hello friends, the boy from Washington Street. In the bustling river town of Peoria, Illinois, a little boy was born into the world most of us can scarcely imagine. Let's just call him Franklin. Franklin didn't grow up surrounded by white picket fences and manicured lawns. He grew up on Washington Street, living in a business establishment run by his stern, towering grandmother, Marie. The business was a brothel. His mother worked there. His father was a former boxer who spent his days hustling on the streets. Young Franklin saw things no child should ever have to see. Violence, heartbreak, the darkest, most desperate corners of the human condition. When he was just 10 years old, his mother left. He remained in the care of his grandmother, a woman who was quick with a switch, but who also provided the only real stability he would ever know. To survive the pain, the boy found an escape, first in the movies and eventually making people laugh. He learned early on if the neighborhood bullies were laughing, they weren't hitting him. Laughter was his armor. Fast forward to the 1960s. Franklin had made it out of Peoria. He was on television. He was playing the best clubs. He was wearing sharp, thin-lapelled suits, standing on stage in Las Vegas, telling polite, gentle, middle-of-the-road jokes. He was trying his hardest to be the next Bill Cosby. He was giving the audience exactly what they expected from a clean-cut young comedian. But inside, Franklin was suffocating. The polite jokes were a mask. They didn't reflect the truth, the struggle, or the raw, unfiltered reality of the world he had survived. Then came the night in 1967 at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. Franklin walked out onto the stage. He looked at the sold-out tuxedo-cladded crowd, and then he stood there, in total silence. He looked at the audience. The audience looked at him. The silence stretched on until it became unbearable. Finally, Franklin leaned into the microphone, uttered a single unprintable expletive, and asked aloud what in the world was he doing there, and walked off the stage. His management was horrified. The club owner was furious. Everyone in the show business thought he had just committed career suicide. The clean-cut comedian was done. But that walk-off wasn't his ending. It was a beginning. Franklin retreated to Berkeley, California. He surrounded himself with counterculture writers and thinkers. He made a quiet, ironclad vow with himself. If he was ever going to stand on stage again, he was going to tell the truth. No matter how shocking it was, no matter who it offended, when he finally returned to the microphone, the sharp suits were gone. The polite jokes were gone. In their place was a man who took the trauma of the Peoria brothel, the pain of abandonment, and the harsh realities of America and spun them into groundbreaking, breathtaking honesty into a new art form. He didn't just change stand-up comedy, he revolutionized it entirely. He became the philosopher hiding behind the microphone, inspiring every great comic who would follow him. He became a philosopher hiding behind the microphone, inspiring every great comic who would follow in his footsteps. Because the boy who walked away from a safe, easy paycheck returned as a legend. Because Thomas is Richard Franklin, Lennox, Thomas, Pryor. And whether you realize it or not, this is the landing point. Thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. Our stories come out Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, so you can always catch our latest story. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They're a full-service real estate company that can help you with both your real estate, residential and commercial needs, both buying and selling and leasing for the commercial side. If you haven't done so already, please go out to our YouTube page and subscribe so you can get our latest stories that come out. If you want our latest updates, please go to our Facebook page and follow and like that. And then for those of you that enjoy just listening to stories when you're out on the drive, we do have our podcast too that you can hear the same stories. Thank you for listening to today's story, and we'll catch you next time.